Why in the intro? Okay, go ahead, because the intro's not working.
All right, welcome. It's your boy Trey Proper here again on another wonderful episode of Kinkazoids. We got a great show lined up for you, as we always do, consistently bring you content every week. Every week. I am joined, of course, by my lovely co-hosts. Ladies, if you could go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right,
what's up? It's your girl, Chase Hayes. Doesn't matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your mouth.
And it's your girl, Royal. No tagline necessary. Just recognize she's a queen.
That's a tagline, sis.
Okay, all right.
Wow, recognize she's a queen. Period.
I'm gonna need y'all to remember the order that you go in, though. But good
job. She's my time. I'm ready when I'm ready.
Oh, excuse me. You know what? All right, look. We know you cute today, but don't be coming for me.
Sis, you come out here beat every time. I come on here cute for once. Now she's like, oh, now you want to be cute. Oh, now you want to look like good.
It's okay.
I had a good day.
I'm glad.
No, but you really are cute, though. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, you look good. You do look good.
I tried. It's only for you guys.
You didn't try. You succeeded. You did.
Oh, you did.
You did great. You did great. Very, very happy to see you tonight. And I'm glad to see that you guys are in good spirits. We've got a lot of stuff to get through tonight, and thank you everybody who's in the comments for joining us. We're going to get right into it. Actually, first things first. Actually, we have our position of the week. My bad. Now I'm off kilter. You see, you got all done up and you threw me. I've been off kilter all day. I ain't gonna fake it. Anyway, position of the week is none other than knees to chest. A variant on the missionary style, where basically you're pressing your lady friend's knees together in the missionary position, and you are basically, for lack of a better word, you're mounting her from the top, of course. And it's a very controlling, powerful move, great for G-spot stimulation. And it's also a very intimate position where you can stare into each other's eyes lovingly. Or if you want to, spice it up a little bit, you can use one hand, hold the legs in place, another one around a certain sturdy place, basically around the neck. Yeah. Because
what it looks like, this looks very much like the "what's that shit you were talking earlier" position. That's what that looks like.
But you're adding more pressure onto the vagina walls by pressing the legs together, and also your weight on top. Not all of your weight, gentlemen, or whoever have you, but your weight on top will increase the pressure and also the upward motion of your pelvis. SAT word. It will actually stimulate the G spots very, very effectively, in my opinion. Have you ladies had experience with this position in particular?
Yes, I agree with Jamaica. I have definitely been in the I can't breathe position.
Yeah.
I would just say in this type of position, if you are on the plus size caliber and you got a big old biddies on your chest, you make sure you let your partner know that your breathing constriction has come to a place where you can no longer continue. Change it up, move to the side, or even ask them just to like sit up just so you can get like readjusted, get a good like gust of oxygen in your lungs, and then go right back into it. Like
That's when you gotta practice your breathing. Just gotta
but like
practice your breathing. This ain't love
if you got a tire swing on you, and then you got more than a C on your chest, and you got two of them joints, and they up in your neck, and they get into the like vasculars or whatever veins and called the jugulars and all this up in here. You can't breathe. You can't. I can't think. Get screwed and breathe at the same time. Like it's just it's too much. It's too
you're not
much,
supposed you're not supposed to think in that position. You're just supposed to do what you're told.
Or
First of all, orgasm
out.
should not be a life or death situation. I'm just saying.
That's who.
Literally. Yes. Or if you do this and the person just doesn't care, then they're gonna go until you pass out, and then they're gonna ask you, "Are you aware of your surroundings?" And they're gonna say yes, and then they get right back to clapping. Yeah, don't people cut them out. That's toxic. That is a person who don't want to see food.
Yeah. Jamaica said in the comments, either you want me to call God or I need you to call 911.
Call God or 911. Which one you want me to do?
But that's why I added the caveat, gentlemen. You don't put all your weight on your woman. You don't do that unless she's particularly into that, and that works out well for you guys. But it's definitely with all sexual positions, you definitely have to take care. And what do we do here? Communicate with your partner to make sure that they are comfortable and they are receiving as much pleasure as possible. But moving right along, what did anybody else have anything to say on that?
Just breathe.
Right.
I mean, well, yeah. If you ain't breathing, we got a whole nother.
Change that shit from knees to chest to the supplication special.
Not even going to that one. Okay. Now we also have our toy of the week. I'm gonna pass this one over to Royal and let her introduce this one for a particular reason. I'm not gonna say.
All right, fine. Okay. So, my headboard is now broken for reasons that will remain nameless.
Really?
You don't say.
So, in honor of my broken headboard, we have decided to make this week's toy or tool of the week sexual beds. And I guess I'll go first.
Yes.
All right, fine then. Okay, so my bed is called the Asian Pain Bed. So, I think I'll have Dusra get it up on the screen shortly, but it comes equipped with like I think it's called a St. Andrew's cross. And it's made specifically for like shibari or rope play. So, if you're into BDSM or bondage or anything like that, this bed is good for you. It comes with other hooks on the bed as well, like on the bed frame itself and on the headboard, so you can tie your partner down, or vice versa. Y'all can tie each other down, whatever y'all like. And definitely get that pain and pleasure working.
Only imagine a scene like that where both of y'all are tied up. That is confusing.
Listen,
somebody better have an emergency key, be Houdini or something.
Not an emergency key. Just say, look, know your safe word. That's all you gotta do. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all know that this bed retails at $4,300, and that's just what.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's beyond. Yeah, I mean, hey, if I walk into somebody's room with that, I know they spent a pretty penny on that. All right, cool. Chase, would you like to go? Or would you like me to go?
A lot of money. I'm still stuck on the $4,300. Like,
right?
We're gonna skip over that. Like, $4,300 wasn't just stated, Anyway, so my headboard a suggestion of the week is the Kenmure low profile panel. So basically this, you have to put it on a box spring, like it will be required, but if you want it to just be the bed for your pleasure, I guess. If you wanted to keep it pretty gatey and metal, I mean, hey, do what you want to do. That's your freak time. The reason why I like this headboard is because it has the X cross in the middle. So if you wanted to, you could tie somebody's feet at the bottom, like, you know, kind of put them in like a vertical position. And they also have like holes at the top of the headboard and the footboard. So this is kind of one of those things where it gives you a both of them situation. I know a lot of people
that leverage.
Yes, a lot of people are exiting the footboard. I just got rid of my footboard actually. So it's just like, you know, because it's kind of like pointless. It's like just a decoration at that point, depending on your kind of bed panel. But if you have something like this, you can not only get the hands, but you can get the feet also. And I think you can have a lot of different bondage play, a lot of different tying up situations in this kind of bed, especially you want to do like the laying on the, like, you know, your stomach flat, like, you know, you kind of, anyway, that's for anyone else who has, like, you know, imagination. But I think this will be good. This one I actually found on Wayfair, and it came in. It has a California king size availability for only $739.99. So if you don't want the $4,300, there is an option for under $1,000.
Listen. You got to make sure the bed is sturdy. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. This is steel. So hopefully you keep up.
So I guess I'll go next. My bed is the Sex Toy 2016, located on the GHgate.com. This bed actually has a swing built in for, you know, that seesaw action built into the actual frames of the bed. It still has the canopy attachments up top. You do have the you know, you can secure yourself to the bars for that leverage or restraint. And it's it's actually in the middle of the price range of what you guys have presented. It's actually going for $2,600. Still a little bit pricey for some people's pockets, especially after a pandemic. But hey, you know, you're gonna invest in your playroom. You want to go big or go home. But I like this in particular because it has the built-in swing that is detachable, of course. So that would be heck of fun for that stand and deliver and control methods. But yeah, that's what I have my own. I definitely have my own, that one. All right. Chase, so this week last week we put up a poll about asking about people's musical choices in the bedroom. And we've got a lot of traffic because of that. Would you like to pick up the ball on that one?
Hey guys, so you already know I'm a sex enthusiastic kind of person, okay? I like listening to sexual music. I like talking about sex, everything and anything sexual. That's what I am. That's why I'm a kinkazoid. Anyway, so I decided to put a playlist together, a kinkazoid playlist, for your listening pleasure on our YouTube channel. So if you go to our YouTube channel, Kinkazoid Podcast, if you go on there, you will find in our playlist department, obviously you go to our homepage, you'll see videos and you'll see our playlist. And it has all the songs that you guys had voted in. So we had like DJ Biggs, we have his Panty Droppers, Allison Jackson, we have Sexy You All the Time by Jeremiah, we have my pick, which is More and More by Joe, we have Royal's pick, which is Skin by Rihanna. So we have all the picks that you have selected, we have put it in that playlist. And also tomorrow we are going to be posting a bracket, yes, something kind of like a March Madness series, if you will. We're going to be putting up against 90s, sex songs against 2000 sex songs. Who's going to come out on top? We all know 90s sex songs is something dangerous, okay? That is why majority of some of y'all younger kids is around right now, okay?
Yeah.
We can't contest with the older songs because that's how we were created. And to be honest, as good as they are, I really don't want to think about my mama and daddy doing it to the dude to create me. Okay?
No, this is a safe space.
Songs that weren't available until we were actually around. Okay, so we're gonna have a '90s R&B sex playlist versus a 2000s, 10s, and more sex playlist, and we'll see who gets on top. Fair to say. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Kinkazoid Podcast because we will be putting it in our IG stories where you can vote and we will get down to it. I think we're going to probably do a 16 bracket, but we'll see how many songs we come up with. If you have any songs that you think should be on the list, make sure you Instagram DM us at the Kinkazoid Podcast on Instagram or separately on our all Instagram pages or on Facebook and let us know what you want or just put in the comments right now. we're here. Do it right now.
Right.
I mean, why not? But yeah. So if you want to listen to some sexy music to put you in the mood for self or dual or three or more pleasure, make sure you go on our YouTube channel and go to the Kinkazoe podcast in our playlist, and it's the Kinkazoe playlist for your kinky pleasure.
Alrighty. I like how you did that. You came in with the face beat and you did that shit right there. That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Not kinky, right there.
Let's go ahead and get right into the nitty gritty. So you guys have just had your just desserts. Now we're about to fill you up with your dinners. So first topic of the night. We actually have a spotlight that leads us into our first topic for a particular listener of the show who had concerns about wanting, and we'll never divulge in the show who you are for those particular purposes. We want to keep your identity a secret. But this particular listener was concerned about convincing their partner to become more dominant in the bedroom. And basically, she wants a sub. She wants a dom, and she wants to be his sub. So we wanted to come to this panel today and basically discuss the best ways we think we should do that. Me personally, I think that we should define those titles firstly, so that everyone out there understands. If you don't, because there are some who are not familiar with that level of intimacy. So I think we should define that here. So I'll go first, and I think each of us should go around a panel and define what you think a dom sub relationship is. And me personally, a dominant individual, regardless of gender, is someone who is the quote unquote leader of the relationship, usually in a monogamous relationship with that individual, and they're the leader. They are not necessarily controlling, but they're guiding, and they are the power in which things are driven from, and also they're the important person that makes the decisions, especially in the bedroom specifically. As outside the bedroom, you can have different dynamics, but inside it's anyone's game, so to speak. And also the submissive person is the person who is the receiver of the directives. They are obedient, they are understanding, they listen most of the time, unless they're a brat, but we'll get into that later. And don't make that face. Anyway, but yes, I believe that is the dynamic, and they work like a yin and yang to make sure that they bring each other to their ultimate goals and pleasure, specifically speaking in the bedroom. So, but yeah, what about you ladies?
Where you want to go first?
Sure, that's fine. So, Trey, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like you said, a dom it could be, male or female, but that person who takes the lead in the relationship. And also, we want to point out that it doesn't have to be specifically sexual. It could be in every aspect of your life. So, like, if you want them, a lot of doms are adamant about their subs drinking water, about them exercising, just basically them doing something for themselves, to take care of themselves, because the dom's role is to take care of the sub, pretty much.
Yes.
And it could be like some dom relationships even go as far as financial, the financial aspect of things, where they're telling you can't spend so much money on something, or that you need to save if they control the things that you spend on, that type of thing. So a dom and sub relationship can actually cover a wide range of things.
I agree. Okay.
For me, I believe that a dom and sub relationship is a partnership where two people come together, and they definitely have that great communication set between the two of what they want out of the relationship. Whether you're a dom or a sub, you kind of go into it because in most cases, and a lot of people don't talk about this, there is a contract between the dom and the sub that has to be signed, whether you get it notarized or not if you're that serious about it. But you have to have a contract set up between the two. Some people, they just do it for play, so it's really not that deep for them. But if you're really committed into a BDSM lifestyle, you always have a contract, because you never want to go outside of that contract. You never want to break anything. There's rules basically set up, even like the simplest ones that will, like, I'll take out the trash every Friday. You think that's like something stupid that you do have to write in the contract, but you need to, because it's something that is going to come up in a communication basis between the two. when it comes to the different levels of people, there's a lot, just like Royal had said, like, and Trey, I'm sorry. It's just one of those things of where there's, like, you have Brat, you have a really submissive, you have a pet, like, you have all these people, you have the roper, the rigger, like, you have these people that all have, like, their different definitions. So there's definitely not just, oh, I'm a dom or I'm a sub. No. Like, what are you specifically? Because if you go into something with a person who is your dom or who is your sub, and you're just like, well, this is just what I am, you're not part of that life, and you're kind of just wasting that person's time. So it's always just big to know exactly who you are and where you stand. And if you're a switch, that's cool too. There's always the middle. Sometimes it's not just dom, sometimes it's just not sub. There's a switch in there too. So just make sure you know exactly who you are and how you define yourself.
Completely agree. Now that we've pretty much defined those two roles, let's get into answering the question for her. Now, one thing that we preach here, and I'm going to keep preaching, and I don't care what you got to say. Communication is key. That's something that absolutely has to happen in a relationship. And if you are attempting to delve into this form of kink play with someone, you should first have the conversation with your partner. You should sit down with them and define what their wants and needs are if you are at that level in your relationship. And you should definitely go down, do a pro and con list to the things that you like and the things that you don't like, and really get into it, because it is extremely serious. It can increase the level of connection you have with your partner. It can strengthen your relationship, point blank and simple, or it can break it because you didn't follow your constitution that you've instituted between the two people. And so being able to tell your partner what they want and what they need and what they desire is very important in or out of a dom sub relationship. So take that with you in your regular relationships as well. But how would you ladies describe the best way to approach telling someone that you want them to be your dom?
Jay, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So, in my own personal life, have had a dom sub experience. It might have not been at the most secure, heightened level, but we definitely did have that relationship, and it had it for a very, very, very long time. So basically, in a sense, that's all like I kind of knew. And so when it came forward to going forward into other relationships, I was used to that. I don't even want to say aggressive, but overprotective, person that, basically let you know, like, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. And it's not even like basically telling you what to do. I don't want people to think that only doms tell you exactly what to do, where to go, how you're supposed to be, and that's not what it is. There are sometimes relationships that it could just lead you into a better place in your life. They're trying to get you somewhere. I know that, like we had talked about beforehand, like making you drink water and stuff, and it's not as a punishment, it's just to keep you healthy, to keep you active and everything. So when you guys do a scene together, you're not gonna be laying on the floor and pass out, making sure that you get energy together. When it came to me moving forward into a relationship that a person never thought of BDSM and it was never a part of their repertoire, it was different, because I was looking for them to, sometimes just grab me by my waist, give me like a harsh kiss sometimes, or just have that that passion behind it and that dominance that I liked having over myself. And pushing them to do it was kind of annoying, because it's basically just asking a person to be something that they're not. Like, kind of grab me like this, or sometimes when we're in the bed, do this, and it's like you're basically, it kind of like, I don't want to put it in a child thing, but like you're basically telling a child exactly what to do, and that's not cute. It's like you want that person to already have that instilled in them, and if not, at least have that passion for it, so that way going forward they can build like more of a deep connection to it. But if you have a person who's strictly vanilla, aka they're not into any extraordinary out of your regular sex capades, like unlike the kinkazoids, then it's something I feel like you should really go into it very timidly, speaking about it every once in a while, and then kind of like have a sit down conversation, like saying like, this is something that has been interesting me, I've been looking it up, I've been really into it, how would you feel about doing that? And sometimes you don't have to go into it where the person is completely turns into a dom that they've never been before. You are completely a sub that you've never been before. Y'all could just do scenes. Like, you know, play something, do a little foreplay kind of thing and see how it feels to do it before you start trying to deep dive into something that you don't really know much more of. That's the best way I can get that.
Facts. Yeah, I think those are really great points, Chase. So for me, it's, you know, definitely like you guys have been saying, it's a communication thing. You know what I mean? And the way that you could go into it is not just by, you know, having the conversation to come straight out to say, hey, you know, why don't you be more dominant or anything like that. But I think you can approach it the same way that you would approach anything sexually. It's like, hey, you know, I really like it when you do this. I really like it when you grab me this certain way or touch me this certain way. Like, just to take baby steps to test it out to see if this is something that that person is comfortable with. And, you know, and then you can dive deeper into the conversation about, you know, you wanting to be dominated or anything like that. And I hate to quote my co-host. I hate to quote him, but men are not mind readers. And that also goes, you know, for women, any partner that you have. All right, sir. No. We're not doing this.
No, keep going.
I can't stand you. Anyway, your partners are not mind readers, so you have to communicate with them. You have to be open about the things that you desire, because if you are keeping your mouth closed in these situations, you're never going to be sexually fulfilled.
Satisfied,
satisfied. There'd be no satisfaction if you are not plainly explaining the things that you like or the things that you dislike. Your partner is never going to know. And the same thing goes for a dom sub relationship. You have to communicate. You have to set those boundaries, and, you know, be open to suggestions and to be able to try that type of stuff.
I agree completely. I agree with what you both said. I do think that there's one caveat, and actually, Goner Malenges brought it up before I could say it.
I think it's
Malegis. Goner Malegis. You're funny, sir. It's tough because dominant personalities aren't really a learned trait, in my opinion. And I agree with that, because I think that you have to already be or have a level of dominance within you, because there are people who are just not built that way. They don't have it in them, and that's why the communication factor is very important. But I'll just say my tagline now: it's important to have proper communication. I know y'all hate it. I don't care. I'm gonna be cheesy. I can do that. Anyway, but I agree with him there that you have to be already established, but also checking out the rest of the comments. Whose line is it anyway? Bedroom edition. Yeah, you got to have some type of leadership there. And looking over at the YouTube comments, Cowie Goat High, ma'am, I'm not sure who there was. I'm a little bit late.
I think that was to me.
What's going on? And Lori C, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. All right, now that we've done that, I think we pretty much covered that portion. But to delve a little bit differently, so there are, like you said, Chase, there are multiple different facets to being an individual who would get into this type of play. What would be the best way for someone to discover where they fall in the spectrum?
So the best way and the greatest way is going online and doing a BDSM test. So like you guys already know, we promote the Discord not because it's something or another platform for you to join. We are very active in our Discord. We talk on there all day, all hours of the night. I think, guys, the other night we was up till like 12 o'clock in the morning talking, even a little bit past that, with some of the people who are our followers. So if you want to be part of the conversation and get a little kinky with us, make sure to follow us on the Discord at the Kinkazoid Podcast.
But please follow the rules. Please
follow the rules, please. Do not show anything of yourself. No. There's too many people out here in this industry getting paid for you to use their stuff for free on the internet. So just screenshot and send it in. That's basically all it is. That's all we do. And we just post memes and we talk about funny stuff. But some of the times we do post questions that we do post here for our episodes weekly. And we do talk about them. One of the things that came up, Royal actually posted in the Discord the BDSM link. And you will actually post in after the show the link that you can go to test yourself and see what is your, sexual needs and how you meet up to them, your percentages and stuff. Are you a real dom? Are you a real sub? Are you in between? You a switcher or not? So we actually did all the tests, and just so that everyone in the Discord. This is why you got to join. You can finally possibly find your dom or your sub in the Discord. You don't even know it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We ain't love matchmakers, but we are kinky ones. Okay. So we do have our results. Royal, you wanna go first?
Oh, you're gonna put me out there first. Okay.
Yeah, we're putting you out. We gotta put the innocent one out there. You gotta put the innocent one.
I'm the innocent one. Okay.
You between the two of us, use the innocent one.
That might be facts. That might be facts.
You put out the link. You gotta go first.
Fine then. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do mine first. So let me just rattle off my top 10. So I was 100% brat. I mean, come on.
Before you go further, could you define for the audience what a brat is?
In your own words.
Okay, sure. In my own words. So a brat is a type of submissive. Now, we are submissive by nature. However, we are going to make you earn it.
Yes.
You understand? So basically, you could give us a command, and 9 times out of 10, the response that you're going to receive is "make me." There's always some type of defiance, and usually, the result is good, but sometimes I've ended up on the bad end of a spanking or two. So
yeah,
that's how you broke that headboard, huh? Okay.
Shut your face. Oh, don't worry about that.
You just went flying straight into it. Didn't even have time to stop.
You probably put the finger up. The neck was. I'm not gonna do it.
Next thing you know, headboard
is destroyed. I mean,
you're gonna learn to respect me.
You gonna let me move on? You gonna let me move on?
Go ahead.
All right. So 100% primal prey. So I'll go into that one as well a little bit. So my definition of primal prey, it's like we like to be hunted, so to speak. Like I'm gonna run and I want you to catch me. That type of thing.
I can't run that fast, so it don't gotta run far.
I can't run that fast, but
yep.
That's the point, though. It's like, okay, I'm not going to run too far away. I know you're going to catch me, but I want to be caught. You know what I'm saying? Okay, 96% submissive, which, of course, was a no-brainer. I am the sub. That's how it works.
Hey, happy wife, happy life.
Also, 94% voyeur. So, for anybody who does not know, I like to watch. I don't like putting on a show, but I like to watch. 92% degradee. I'll say this is probably one of the ones that surprised me, because
degradation kink.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a degradation kink, but I also have a praise kink, and they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, it's liking to hear those degrading words, but then also, on the flip side of that, I also like to hear that I'm being a good girl.
Okay.
That drives me wild, man. The good girl does it.
Yes. Good girl. Good girl is the one. Do you understand? Good girl is the one. And yeah, that was my top 5. What did I say? Top 10?
Okay. No, well, we only gonna read off the top
let's start with 5.
They displayed, So, all right. So, Chase, if you will, tell us about your.
So I originally did this wrong, apparently, to some of the people in Discord, because I only chose submissive one.
You
I
did.
was like, why would I choose the dominant? Because there's the way when you go into this and you go to answer the questions, it gives you a choice. Would you like shorter questions or longer questions? I chose the long, extensive ones. And then it also gives you a choice of whether you would like to do like a listing of all questions, including submissive and dominance, or would it just be dominance or just submissive? I just chose submissive. I ain't no dom, so why would I choose a dom to make my life longer? And then I had to do the test all over again. I fell asleep in the middle of it. Listen, it was just a lot of questions. Okay, I was tired. All right,
It's an intense test. Yes,
it's an intense thing, but I got the questions and I got the answer and I got my percentages. Okay,
Wait, didn't you fall asleep or something like that?
I fell asleep. I definitely fell asleep. It was long, man. The questions were like repetitive because they want to make sure that they're getting the most accurate thing together. One, which I appreciate, but two, they also are asking you from a dom and a sub like thing. So I have one question that says, in a play situation, you're the one who's going to be roping a person, and then the second question is you're the one who's going to be roped up. Like, you have to answer both questions at the same time. They're not like one after each other. They're like 8 questions apart. It was anyway. When you take this test, make sure you got some time on your hands. That's all I'm saying. Okay, take like 5
Dedicate
minutes.
a
Like,
good hour.
Yeah, basically.
yes, and
Right.
just answer accurately.
And answer accurate as most accurately as you can.
Right.
All right. So my top one, I am 100% rope bunny. So that's not surprising. I like the
Tell the people what a rope bunny is.
it drives me wild. I don't know why, because what's crazy is I literally freak out about not being able to have control over my body, which is weird. So I don't know how I'm a rope bunny when like I will panic. Like I can't wear turtlenecks because I feel like I'm choking. Like if that, it's weird. Like
You realize I had to cut you, but you realize you just gave whoever your future dom is a whole lot of ammo with that right there, because it's gonna be like, I need you to put on that purple
I'm ready to
turtleneck.
play. Like, what's
there
up?
you go. It's gonna be a done deal.
But no, it's just like turtlenecks make me feel like I'm being suffocated. I know a lot of people feel like that. Like it doesn't feel like there's air or anything. And I don't like feeling like I can't get out of a room or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's weird to me that I like rope bunny because like that makes you can't do nothing. Like you stuck. So I think it depends on the situation, obviously. Like I said, communication, letting your dom know or your sub know how far you can go with each other and everything. My next one is exhibitionist. I mean, not really surprised by that at all. 97% brat proof. You know what I'm saying? It's in the pudding. For me personally, when it comes to being a brat, you are submissive, just like Royal said. You are submissive, but you have like I'm not gonna do everything you tell me to do when you want me to do it. I mean, who are you? But at the end of the day, I think it suits better for people, and I have to put this in here. I think it suits better for people who love to be a submissive, but also will check back if need be. And what I mean by that is that there's certain extents you can go to with us, but there's a limit. And when you hit that limit, we're gonna talk back at you, and we're no longer in play mode. Like, so I feel like for some people, for some like true submissive, they're like they don't know how to take themselves out of that, and that's when you have to be a real dom and know and read your sub and really be able to tell, okay, you're not okay. Let's stop this and let's go into some aftercare. But I feel like if you are a brat, you're a person who likes to be, you like to have a dom, but at the same time, I'll knock your teeth out. Like, don't play with me. Like,
I think that's more switch than Brad, though.
That's more switch than Brad, but I'm saying like there's a limit. Like I'll do whatever I'll do whatever you want me to. But there's a certain limit. There's a certain limit. Like
That is one of my questions for later. Yes.
Yeah. And then 96% submissive. And 95% make sure. Let's first of all.
Masochist. Yeah.
I remember last week what my toy was. Y'all remember the pillow? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
For those who don't know what it is, please define for them what a masochist is, if you can, in your own words.
Getting spankings and stuff. It's exciting. You like your punishment is basically hitting, which is weird if you look at it from like your childhood aspect. But as an adult, hey, you know what? A freak is a freak. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically like get little taps, little booty slaps, or whatever like that. Or if you're a brat, pushing your dom to the brink where Royal breaks a headboard because her head got slammed into the headboard.
That's not even what had happened. I'm not gonna. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, basically it's just like with the tour that I had last week, you know, the paddle that you have and like, you know, anything like that is basically just a punishment just to give. But honestly, I just like it just to like it. I mean, you can just do it. I feel like any woman who literally will sit there and go like this while the man's walking by, and she just want that little slap, girl, that's you. Don't play. Like, you like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not act stupid. And 92% voyeur, and then 74% experimentalist. But I think the most thing that really caught me off guard was, it's all the way down the bottom, but 38% switch. That one definitely.
Well, we kind of figured that out because you said you would punch somebody in the face. That's definitely not.
Well, that's not very switch energy. That's just me, like, wanting respect out of a person. That's not really. I just don't want you to degrade me. Like, I mean, obviously, like 66%, I'm a degrading. Like, right. So, like, just like I said, I like, you know, like, you fucking slut. Like, you know, like, little stuff like that. Also, like my good girls because mama need them. But at the same time, don't to a point of disrespecting me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the whole thing is. Like, these are all things that I think that's where some people get confused, where they think you're a dom. I can say and do whatever and just spit vile at you, and that's not how that works.
That's not okay.
So that's where I think maybe the switch comes in, because I am dominant when it comes to fellatio. So that might be a thing, but other than that, I just like controlling. Like, yeah, I like knowing your soul is melting in my mouth. Okay,
your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine. You know, it's just, I like, you know, when you think that a nut means you're done getting head. What does that mean?
That's not
what
it.
is that?
It's not over. You thought it was over?
Oh, because you're sensitive now. Oh, okay. All right.
This came up in the Discord, and I'd be remiss if I did not mention the fact that you are not running your ship properly if you do not obtain control of that situation. I have yet to, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
Listen,
I have yet to have somebody
some men who are very dominant do like when their female does take control in that portion. Like, they like, some men do like that. Like, they don't, I mean, obviously I'm not telling you to, like, yo, sit the fuck back. Like, I'm not telling, obviously. But, like, if you moving if you're taking your hands to try to move my head off of you, I'm sorry. Clink.
What was that motion right there? What are you grabbing? What is that?
What is this?
I'm sorry. Give me the gun. Okay.
Oh, you behind the waist? You locked up?
Yeah, bro, you're not going away from me. I'm sorry. Like, you thought because you was done, I was done. That is hilarious. I have been knocked in the head a couple of times. That doesn't stop anything.
Not knocked in the head.
Okay, all right.
Listen, I don't want to say like it was a strong mush, a very hard mush. But some men are into that. They like I've had some guys who are like, I like when you like hold my hands, or, you know, like I want to stop. Like, you know, it's just some men are into it.
Shut up, Trey. Okay.
Say what you got to say, sir.
You about to have a daycare in your throat. It's that simple. Like,
I didn't see. Was there a problem with that?
I was about to say, what's the issue?
Anyway, it's not an issue. What I'm saying is,
conversation we had in our Discord.
That was another conversation that we had.
You want to join our Discord?
Join the Discord.
I just feel crazy. Like, I just feel like if you're going to do that, yes, this is me as a dominant individual giving you control of the ship for right now. Let me see what you can do, and let's see what you can do. And I'm getting there, and now I'm like, all right, I'm going to control the situation, and you're going to still do what I want you to do. That's just how it goes. This is what it is. But I guess it's my turn to go ahead and talk about my test. Nobody really wants to hear about that. So moving on. Anyway.
Dead. Back it up.
I mean, I'm a regular guy. I don't put myself. I'm a dominant individual. You know, I do have very, very strong convictions, as you guys can tell by the last couple of shows. But I'll go over my top list, and I'll also tell you what my most surprising one was. Top of my list was Primal Hunter. I am big into growl play. I like the hunter. I like the animal play. I'm not going to do it here and demonstrate my growling capabilities, but I like to do that. Audible sounds.
Why not, James? Just a real quick growl for the fans. Come on.
So, oh, you laughing? Okay.
I didn't hear
Anyway,
it.
Bro, did you not see how you approached the microphone?
anyway. See, this is why you can't do nothing. Niggas.
I think
I'm sorry. We need a do-over because Abducer said it didn't come across.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do a TikTok of it. Go follow me on TikTok. Pray proper. Anyway, so
trade no fun.
what?
Yeah.
I did it. That wasn't even a good one. See that? Hold on.
See,
That wasn't even a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So first one is Primal Hunter. I like the primal play, the scratching, the biting, the chase is something that actually gets me where to go. Rigor is something that I'm into, utilizing different items to tie an individual down, and basically catching and securing my prey. That's something I'm definitely into. And of course, dominant. Primal Hunter 100%. Rigor 98%. Voyeur, I do like to watch. I like to watch. That's 98%. And dominant, of course, we defined it earlier by the same standards, 94%. And brat tamer is rounding out the top at 94%. Brats like to have their way. I like to show them the right way. That's where I go with that. The most
Show them the right
Like a
way.
brat tamer. Like
the proper way
at all.
Yeah, what's the definition of a brat tamer?
of a brat tamer. So basically, like, you have both given examples of a brat either rebutting or coming back or attempting to switch or controlling a situation when they don't really know. I'm not, the term for me to probably define myself, I would consider myself a soft dom. You can do all that running around and mouthing off all you want. We're not going to do anything here in public. We're not going to do anything out there. But the moment we get back home, you will pay. And you will pay dearly. And you know this. So you're about to be corrected.
I think the thing with soft doms is that you guys tend to let the anticipation build.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know when it's coming. That's the
Right.
fun thing. You could be washing the dishes.
And the thing with brats is that we will continuously push your buttons, waiting
And
for a
we
response.
remember every single thing, and it's coming back your way.
Yeah.
My most surprising, I was most surprised by the daddy mommy. I didn't like, that's basically, you know, the daddy mommy role play thing. It's like, I don't see myself doing that. I'm not, I don't get that at all. So I really don't. No, that's not really me, but it says 70%. So that was my most surprising one. But thanks to Garn Malegis, he actually put the link in the chat. So if you guys want it, we'll also have it available inside the Discord. If you want to take the test, take the full test, take the time out of your day, just do it. Most of you may still be inside or wherever have you, take the time out to do the test. Now that we've done that,
Well, are you guys surprised at any one of our results? Like, was there any one of our results that you were like, I think that person was like that?
I'm surprised at Trey's daddy mommy results too.
I was surprised.
Because Trey's like solidly in the I don't like to be called daddy.
And you know what? That is, I don't like that. Don't call me. If you have a father, ma'am, do not call me daddy. Don't do it.
You're one of those. Cool.
Yeah, so that takes us into the next thing. If you have an honorific name that you like to go by in your positions and your relationships, and I'll go first. Me personally, I just want my name called. And it's a little bit of arrogance there. I want my name rung out. I want it called.
Come on, Trey Songs.
Say, don't do that. Don't ever fucking do that.
Neighbors know your name.
Never know my name. Come on. I mean,
and that's why I have that communicate. I have that talk with whoever, and I'm like, please do not call me Trey Songs. And also, if you dated somebody, don't use your pet names call me Trey. If you dated another Trey, I might not even mess with you. But no, my name needs to be the only thing that comes out of your mouth. It's that simple. Hey, it's just my preference.
Right.
But yeah,
I think I was surprised at your brat tamer, just because I wouldn't think you would want a brat.
So as far as brat taming, it's fun. It's very fun. Like, and I'm a little vindictive at times. I can do things to get things back. A little. I've changed. I've definitely changed over the years. I'm not the same individual I was. Trey was little, but it's also very cool to see the difference compared. What? Trey was a little. I was a little? The fuck? Anyway.
You was little?
No, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked because I looked at the comments.
I think he's talking about your percentage of whatever trait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. No. Anyway, all right. Threw me off track. I'm not looking at the comments anymore. Brat taming is fun in my opinion, but it's because of that buildup of anticipation. It's that payback. It's that, yeah, I got you. The domineering portion of it. You get to you are in control, and it's almost like it's a battle. It's almost like there's a struggle going on, and you win. You know, so there's a competitive side in me that's speaking out in that situation, and I'm not going to let you win. You're not. It's that simple.
I think that was something that we talked about in the Discord as well, when we were seeing how doms sometimes like for their submissive to show aggressive behavior. And I guess that'd go into that switch brat type of thing. But it's like, you want us to show this aggressive behavior, but for what? Because all you're going to do is get more aggressive.
More aggressive, yeah. I don't think I was surprised by anything Royal had. I think we're like on the same like path.
Wavelength.
Same
so it's just
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's fair. But going back to, we got sidetracked a little bit, but going back to the honor ethics, I want my name called. But which would you ladies like to be called in those situations? I believe that Chase would go first.
I had one nickname deemed on me by an ex, and that's it. Any other like name that I've been called is just like your like.
Well, what was your favorite?
I
got taken back for a moment.
I'm not gonna reveal that one. But
I just growled for you, ma'am. You can tell us the name. You can tell us the name. I just growled.
It was dirty, but not like dirty, but like
you won't be judged.
Yeah. So it was that's what it is. It was dirty, like literally. Okay. It was spelled all different and weird and whatever. But when it comes to like nicknames and stuff like that, I'm just the kind of person, I don't want you to say my name. Like, I don't know. The only time I want you to would want you to say my name is if like you were sending me like a self-pleasure video, like, and like you had to, like you were saying my name during the self-pleasure video. Now that I would be like, ooh, like I'm really in there. I'm in there rent free, baby. It's crazy. Like, but like if we're in the bedroom, like, ooh, Candace, like what? That's not.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's like you, like, to me it's just no. But like when it's like a deep growl of like a baby or like the ooh fuck, like whoo, that's it. I don't need to hear nobody else's name. Like,
that's the one.
Real quick.
Yes.
I'm sorry, real quick. I just thought about something, and I don't really deal with this individual anymore. But one name that I did have was Bear, and yeah, that was a fun one. But I'm sorry, I just had to throw it in there.
Yeah,
that was one honor that I went by.
I'm just the type of person, like, if I'm with you, don't ever say my name. Like, you could call my name if there's like an urgency. But I'm like, I don't think any dude that I've actually messed with has said my government name. It's either like Candy or it's just like AU, or like you're already talking to me. So you just say my name. Like I'm just like a person, like the person I'm talking to, for you to actually say Candace is like weird to me. Like I feel like I'm in trouble when you're saying it. Like it's just like, why are you calling my name? I'm right.
Facts.
Kind of thing. But other than that, like unless like you give me a cute pet name, don't call me Candace. Like it weirds me out. Honestly, it does. Or you could call me Candy, but that's them. But you know, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Royal.
So
please tell me that's not the name you go by. That's the name you go by.
Oh man! I'm like, dang, this girl.
So no. That's not the name I go by. So it's more for me. It's like, you know, like Candace. Like don't call me by my name. It's usually like baby or daddy's something. Whether it's daddy's good girl or we on the, you know, degrading side of it, and it's
disgusting stuff, man. That's the best.
Listen.
That's the best. I love that.
Live your
I
life.
love that
Live
for
your
you.
life.
Thank you.
That for you.
Look, thank you, because I love it for me too, okay? But yeah, so like daddy's something. You know what I mean? That's the big one for me. And you know, just or baby or something like that. I'm not. Don't call me by my name because, like Candace, like Chase said, I feel like I'm in trouble if you're calling me by my name.
Like it's like something urgent. I hate that. But I do love a random good girl for no reason. Like if you ask me like, oh, can you text me like this information? I'm thinking it's nothing on it. Let me just send it. You send that good girl. I'm like,
yes, we'd love to hear it.
It was me. I was the one. I was the good girl.
I will tell you now, the invention of voice text, sending that on iPhone has done me great job. It's done me well. Just sending that, do what I said, good girl.
Rivers down the spine.
Stuff like that. That is, I love sending those type of messages. I was waiting for you to see them comments. I
want to see them. I have to like refresh them or whatever. But go ahead. What they saying?
I cannot.
Chuck Clark, my friends like to occasionally hear a real name somewhere in the mix. Then he said Daddy's Cum Slut, and then Darren Smith said Cum Bucket. So yeah, all right. Anyway, moving along. All right, so because we want to get through this, I do want to speed things up a little bit more. Let's go into our next subject but before I transition, I want to make sure that everybody understands we are talking about this particular setup in the confines of a relationship. I truly don't believe that you can have a casual dom-sub relationship. You have to be very in tune with this individual. You have to have great communication with this individual. You have those situations where you can pay for this type of setup. Yes. But even then, over time, you still have to sit down with that professional and talk to them about what your wants and needs are. So, but you definitely, this is not going to the club and raising your hand and saying, hey, I need a sub. That's not how this works. That's not. No. It's definitely takes some time to develop a special relationship with a special individual. But that leads us into our next segment.
Yes, real quick, I'm sorry. Like you said, this is something that happens in the confines of relationship, and also trust is a big thing. I don't think we said that this evening, is that trust is a big thing in dom-sub relationships. And a person, in order for them to be able to fully submit to you, that is them giving you a lot of trust. And there have been situations where a dom has abused that trust. So I think that we just need to, explain that to everybody, or let everybody know that, is that there is 100% trust between the two individuals in communication, and like Shay said, contracts. Like there is a lot of foundation that happens before you can even get there. So I just wanted to throw that out there for everybody.
Okay. Chuck Clark, actually, Trey, it depends on what club you're going to. Okay. All right. I still think that's more of a monetary transaction. But hey, homie, you might know something I ain't gonna argue with you in the comments.
Yeah, and Garner said you don't go full BDSM on a one night stand.
Oh Lord, please don't.
That's weird.
That would be a problem.
Don't do that.
But speaking of special relationships and trust and communication, which should always be done, what? Come on, y'all gonna say it. Come on, y'all gonna say it eventually. Come on, you gotta say it. You gotta say it properly.
I know it.
No contract. I ain't saying nothing I don't gotta say.
See, that's you being a brat. But never mind. Anyway, special relationships. So basically, we had another conversation that was spawned in the confines of our Discord, which leads us into the argument of, can you have... Originally, it spawned from the Aisha Curry conversation about people basically being attention whores with social media. And, yeah, we're diving a little bit deeper on this one. So, do you guys think that it's right to basically seek your attention outside of your relationship, reach for it in different places, specifically social media, whether it be the way you dress, whether the way you talk, you communicate with other people outside of your relationship? How do you feel about that? Royal, I want you to go first, and then Chase, if you can.
Why y'all picking me tonight? What is happening?
I've been alternating back and forth.
The relationship.
You know what, man?
Well, that too.
All right, so
as we sing,
I think that, and I think this was a point that I brought up when we were having the conversation, is that if you're in a long-term relationship and you're not receiving the same amount of attention from your man, woman, what have you, Sometimes you're going to look for validation elsewhere, and it doesn't have to be, that you're being malicious or anything like that, unless you're trying to step outside of your relationship. It's like, I want somebody to acknowledge the fact that I'm pretty, that I look nice. You know what I mean? And so that's when a lot of people post what people consider thirst traps, because you want somebody to see you looking nice and actually say, "Oh wow, you look nice." So it's not necessarily that you're being an attention whore. It's just, somebody tell me I look nice because I'm not getting it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's harsh to say it's about seeking attention or being an attention whore or whatever, when it's really just, I'm not getting the validation at home, and I would like to receive some.
Yeah. And
So
go ahead, Trey.
I was going to say, it's just not trying to pick on you, but do you think that it's right to go seeking that outside of the home before you seek that within it? I mean, I truly believe that. I really mean it when I say communication is key. So you should be turning to that individual and saying, I'm not getting enough, and setting that expectation, like, this is what I need from you.
Right. And nobody's saying that the person isn't doing that. You know what I mean? Because before you even, and I think this happens with anything, honestly, in a relationship, you're supposed to go to whoever your partner is first.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, you have that conversation and you let them know, I don't feel wanted, I don't feel desired, I don't feel sexy. You know what I mean? You have those conversations, and, but at the same time, your partner has to receive that. And the behavior has to change. And if it doesn't change, then what is it that you're supposed to do? And I mean, honestly, it's a picture. Like, when people were talking about Ayesha Curry, I think she was wearing a bathing suit.
She was.
And, they were literally attacking her character. And this is a woman who's been, a wife and a mom and an entrepreneur. And she just wanted somebody to tell her she looked cute in her bikini.
And I think it's fair for her to ask for that. I think it was a little bit more than that, because I think a year before, she was making the comments on, what was that, the Red Table Talk, saying, I want to be seen. She was admitting it. She was openly saying it. I want other people to look at me. I want people to look at me like a sex symbol. And being a wife and a mother in this society, that's not something that people generally consider appropriate. They think that it's something you should be seeking that attention inside your home, that particular type of attention inside the home. And but I think that's where that came from.
I think the problematic details with the Ayesha Curry situation is she had put out that information, sometimes it feels nice to get a compliment from somewhere else. Basically, a synopsis just saying this, to know you still got the juice. What made it problematic was a couple of years prior, she had made some tweets that were saying, you shouldn't have to display your body to get respect. You shouldn't have to put your body out there to gain attention from anybody, in those aspects. And people love to be devil's advocate. People love to take people's words, switch them around, and make them what they were not. I think anybody understands that. Simply just saying you shouldn't have to use your body to get attention. That's literally what her statement was. And I think everyone should agree that you shouldn't have to use your body to get attention. That's what it is. You shouldn't have to use your body to get it. Not saying that you can't, but you shouldn't have to, right? So that was her statement. Her then years later saying, I still kind of want to know I got the juice, was not saying I'm using my body to get this attention. But in that period of time, I think she was just 6 months shy of having her third child. And in that aspect, that was her third child in the past. I think at that point, Riley was 6 years old. So within 6 years, 3 pregnancies. And yes, she's an entrepreneur. She's her own mogul. She's making money. She has her cookbooks and things like that. But I think she was just struggling with her own body issues. And even if her husband was saying, like, you know, every single day, Aisha, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just want to take you right now, blah, 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 blah. We're not saying that that's not enough. We're not talking about the people that overly shower us with, like, confidence and kisses and hugs and gives us that. We're talking about the people who don't show that enough. And I think that in that relationship, he was probably giving her all that she wanted. But sometimes your partner,
Probably.
I said probably, I don't know the relationship, I'm not in their bed. But so what I'm saying is, it's not that she was seeking validation from anyone else, but probably it's to herself, like, my man loves me. He's gonna love my body however big or how small I get. The world don't love me. They gonna tell me what it really is. So if I put on a bathing suit and I go take a picture, or whatever, I take a picture or whatever, and I go to try to stunt, they're gonna tell me what it is and what it ain't. Right. I'm gonna see if I get play or not. If I don't get play, no, I know I'm not looking that great. If I do, sure. I'm just thinking of, like, what she possibly could have been going through, because then maybe last year sometime, she had made a post about how much, because she got really skinny and everybody was like, oh, is she okay? But people didn't realize that's how she looked before they started having kids. Like, she went back to pre-baby weight. And people were worried that she was getting sick and stuff. And she's just like, I just didn't feel good in my body. I wanted to get back to pre-baby, you know? And I think that's where it came from. She just wanted to feel good in her own body. I know some people will agree with it and some people don't agree with it, and that's perfectly fine. But if I know there are some people out there, if you post a picture of yourself, and, like, I understand that you don't want to talk about social media, but we're in a social media world, it is what it is. You post a picture of yourself, even if it's just up here and there, you get 0 likes all day long, it's gonna hurt, like, just the tiniest bit. Even if you're not into yourself like that, even if you're not into, like, social media likes or anything, even if a person didn't say, hey, seen you posted on Instagram today, I liked your picture, even if it was in person, if you don't hear or see nothing about that, sometimes that can crush your spirit just a little bit.
So why do it? Why even put yourself in a position to allow people to affect your emotions and your feelings? Social media, we use it, I use it, we're using it right now. But why even put yourself in a position to have to rely on the edification of the people that you don't even know? That's the first mistake. I didn't want this conversation to be solely about Aisha Curry. I was leading into our main topic. But, you know, ultimately, she did do that. She said you shouldn't do that. Then later on, she ultimately did do that. She said she wanted more attention, regardless of the caveats that she slipped in there. She did do that. But this ultimately leads me into the conversation of, if you're in a relationship, why do that? Why advertise? Why put it out there like, hey, this is me? Yes, you have every right as a woman to feel good, to feel like, you know, you're a sexual being, you're loved and you're wanted and all this other stuff. You have every right to do that. I can't tell you not to. But when you put it out there, you have to be ready for the consequences, the backlash, the things that people are going to say to you about that. That's why a lot of people don't do it. Majority of the people out there don't do it. Because I think as a married woman or a woman in a relationship, you're opening yourself up to advances that are not necessarily welcome. That's my opinion about the whole Aisha Curry thing. She can do what she wants. I care less. That's what she does.
So what about the men in the relationship who wear wife beaters or wear their shirts off and they take pictures and they post them online and stuff like that? Are they just doing it for fun, or are they looking for validation too? Like, it goes both ways. Everybody's always doing something.
It does, but women are not nearly as visual as men are. You're not. You do appreciate a man's body. You do think the men are attractive physically, yes, but it's not nearly on the level that a man is. I would argue that till we blew in the face. You're not on a man's level in that case. Okay. So, but ultimately, crap. Lost where my train of thought was going.
I just think the whole premise of putting yourself, regardless if it's online, if it's in person, you could be walking down the grocery store and be like, can you hand me that sugar over there? I just want to see what the person's reaction is if you say it a certain type of way. So it doesn't even have to have, like, online presence. I feel like everybody tries to find out if they still got the juice, regardless if they know they're doing it or not. I think it's, like, subconscious at some points. You know,
I mean, people subconsciously flirt all the time.
Yeah, you can subconsciously flirt and not even realize that you're doing it. But it's just like, it's not until like you go, you're like, was they hitting on me? Like, you don't realize it. Sometimes it even happens. But then you walk away from it going, oh, I hope he ain't looking at me when I walk away. Like, you have that mindset. Like, it is what it is. Like, any person who said that they're in a whole relationship and they have never, not once, when a person has said something to them a little slick or even just the cutest of flirtation, did in their head kind of go, okay. Like, you didn't think about it. You didn't think about sleeping with that person. You didn't think about jumping their bones or getting their phone number or nothing. But it just kind of made you go, wow, okay.
So
like, I'm so interested from some person. It doesn't mean I needed it. Like I said, if it's innocent, you didn't realize it was happening until it was over. It's just one of the things that's like, oh, okay, you move on about your day. Like, that, it is what it is. It's just the human brain of wanting that, like, the feel good, I guess. Like, even if you didn't realize you were having it.
You want to feel, beautiful, for lack of a better word. And again, we're only talking about in relationships where you're not receiving that validation, but sometimes, you just want to be like, oh, damn, okay, I look nice. And Jamaica in the comments, she even brought up body dysmorphia. That is a real thing. There are people.
It's a real thing, but it's not a majority thing. That's why I didn't bring that up, because it's not the world. The world does not have that. And I'm not saying, don't take this the wrong way, please. I'm not being an asshole on this, but that is not the topic that we're talking about. We're literally moving the goalpost to something else. So we are talking about people specifically in this situation. That is a small portion of people out there. That's not the majority of us. It is real. I definitely believe it's real, and I'm sorry for people who feel that way, but that's not what we're talking about. That's why I didn't bring that up.
It's not what we're talking about, but how many women do you think have body image issues?
I think all of you have body issues. But that's not just tied to women. That's tied to men and women.
Well, people in general.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
No, I was just saying people in general, who have body image issues.
I was saying men and women, like, everybody has body issues.
But I didn't want to delve into that conversation, because that's
right.
all the way over there.
Yeah. I think, and we're not, and like I said, please, if you are a person who gives compliments, if you assure your partner is the hottest thing running in these streets, we're not talking about you, okay? We're talking about the people who either get that, but it's not the most that they would want. Like, the person doesn't speak their complete love language of affirmations, or we're talking about a person who doesn't get that at all, or maybe you're going through a rough period in your relationship where you've defined sex as your connection, and I think that's the worst part. If you're in a relationship and sex is your definition of your relationship, you're going to be looking for it all the time.
That's
because if a day goes by where you're not having sex with your partner, you're like, they think I'm ugly, they think this, they think that. Now you're going to start seeking it from somewhere else because you're not having that physical connection with that person. And that's why they say you cannot base your relationship off of sex, only because you're going to end up like that. You're always going to be seeking validation. If I'm pretty enough, if I look good enough for another person. But this is the people who have that little hard patch in your relationships where you're going through and you don't have that right then and there. Not saying that you've disconnected, but it's just for this little moment in time, it's not there. And it runs through people's brains. Are they still attracted to me? You can't. It runs through everyone's brain. That's like the first thing that, it happens.
But that, and this whole thing about, looking for validation out places, it brings us into our final topic, honestly. Because in my opinion, and we posted it throughout the week, this need for validation can cause damage to your relationship, to your genuine relationship, your rocky relationship, whatever. Because you have outliers. You have people who, on men and women, all have friends of the opposite sex in some cases. And those platonic relationships can cause, and yes, a person can be considered insecure for thinking this way. I don't care. But it can cause trouble because now you're looking for outside, and that person, you don't know if that person is sitting there like, oh, I see you guys are having problems. I'm your best friend. I'm going to go into it. So, but the ultimate question of this segment is platonic friends. Can you have them?
So we posted it on Instagram and we did a poll, and 88% of you said yes, you can have a platonic relationship. 12% of you said no. And we also put it on our Instagram, and I sent it out to a couple people to message them and see what their thoughts were on it. One of my cousins actually said, only if you don't like the person. I like this one guy and want to get to know him more, but he doesn't want to date. And now I'm stuck with trying to be his friend. So she basically got friend zone. So I told her that is not a platonic friendship. You have a deep interest in this person. He doesn't want to date, whether even if he likes you or not. Your reasoning for being friends with this person is not platonic. You are looking at some point in time to have some romantic desire with that person. So that does not make it platonic. And other people have said, like, yes, they can exist. Some say no, but I think one of those things where when it comes to platonic relationships, you have to be able to be ready to assure yourself that there's nothing going to happen in that relationship. Like, we've had so many songs, okay? Have crazies, Music Soul Child. Like, how many songs have we had coming out where we talked about we accidentally slept with our best friend? First of all, ain't no accident. You've been plotting since day one. If you slept with your best friend, you've been plotting. And that's on period. I don't care what nobody says. And I don't care about no one thing. What's the one thing that led to the other? Please tell me, okay? But when it comes to platonic friendship, you cannot. Oh, Royal, we got a question for you, because you over here giving little twinges to the one thing that led to the other. Okay, you didn't think I didn't see that? I saw you there. I caught you in 4K. Okay, I caught you in 4K. I forgot. I caught you in 4K. But when it comes to platonic relationships, you definitely need to have no attraction. Like, there has to be zero attraction. Like, obviously, and this is what we talked about in our Discord, and we talked about this too throughout the week, you're going to have an attraction to your friend based off who they are, their characteristics, their personality. That's what you attracted to each other with, okay? But when I'm talking about physical attraction, I'm not saying that you think your friend is ugly, obviously, but when it's privately, yes, you ugly to me. If I'm defending you in these streets, you the baddest person walking. Other than that, you a toad. Like, that is a platonic friendship. Like, I have nothing for you. There is nothing in me that wants me to go, I think there's something going on in here, and I think maybe one night, if a couple more glasses of Tito's goes around, I think something can happen. No, like, at all. Like, we're talking strictly. Can I
tag it right there? This is when you, because I got to add that caveat. I'm sorry to cut you off, but men, if it's a couple of glasses of Tito's get passed around, I don't care if she is throwing it at you, walk away, because you don't know how that morning's gonna go, and we know exactly how some things can be misconstrued or misheard or misrepresent. All that. Miss that shit completely and walk your ass out the door. Take a cab, get a call Uber, whatever you got to do, but miss that shit completely.
All right, I'm gonna tag in right there real quick. So
go ahead.
The thing about platonic friendships, okay? So anything, I feel like anything can happen in the relationship to change it. So if you're both, so say for example, if you're both single in this situation, yes, you've been platonic friends, and nothing has happened to change that. You are the homeboy, homegirl, whatever, and something changes in your relationship, like you said, Chase, that a couple of glasses of Tito's get passed around or whatever. I'm gonna just say I ended up getting married to my best friend. So
Music Soul Child is in the building, y'all. He is in the chat. This is crazy.
And that's because y'all Obamas did what as friends?
All right. Anyway.
All right. Okay. So
was y'all really platonic from get? Like, was
we
y'all
were.
Really, like,
we were actually. We were platonic from the jump. And
you
I mean,
had
like,
no feelings
I wish
whatsoever.
I had a baseball cap right here next to me.
Like,
so
no.
What I told him was, and
that's
this is
my cap right now.
No, that's not even cap.
Not
Honestly,
cap.
We started out as co-workers. We were working for the same company, and like
fraternization in the office.
You said what?
Fraternization in the office.
Wasn't even that deep.
I just started eating lunch together. Hey, I'm going to McDonald's. You want some?
You laughed, you slapped the knee.
You can have the rest of my fries.
You rubbed the thigh for a second.
But that's the thing. It was never
Ooh, it's
like
cold
that.
outside.
The
Yeah,
only,
I got you. Just sit right here.
The only
real quick.
reason why we tipped into what we're into now is because we decided to play a game of truth or dare.
No, that is not platonic. No.
It was a group of us. It was a whole group of us. And then we realized that there was an attraction. So again,
John
both of
Luther
us were
said,
single.
"No cap. I need shade over my eyes." Okay, all right. Is this a cap now? There goes.
Listen,
I hate y'all so much.
Discord, we asked the question. Luna Fire said they totally can when everyone knows how to act. People don't respect boundaries, and that's when the problem creates. Max said they can exist. And Goat Chick said platonics exist. Definitely respect the boundaries. And Crazy said, yes, boundaries are key. That being said, boundaries can respectfully be crossed if all parties are in agreement. So, yeah. Y'all was in agreement. Y'all was very in agreement.
We were very much in agreement.
And that's cool. So, but I actually applaud you too, because you eventually realized, okay, we need to stop playing around and get with the times. If you're both attracted to each other, all this whole I don't know, you're my friend bullshit, ladies, stop that shit. If you like the dude, tell the dude you like him. Guys, stop that shit. If you like the girl, tell her that you like her. If it doesn't go there, I'm not saying you got to stop talking to this person individually. You can be shot down and you can move on and just be friends, but keep it at that. And then, like I said in the Discord, stop being the person that they don't want to become the person they can't have. You know, I'm definitely on my shit about that. You can no longer make the attempt. You probably, I'm a dude, I'm not gonna lie. You throw it at me, I'm probably gonna hit it. But I'm not gonna be pursuing anything more after that. Because now I know you didn't want me where I was. So the platonic friend, it can work, but there can't be attraction there. There can't, and you can lose attraction with somebody and then become friends with them. Like, I don't even want you. I have no desire for that. And then you move forward with it. No, Trey, we shy, blushes.
I had a platonic platonic friendship that did turn into a benefits of some sort. It didn't end in the greatest way, and Trey actually has asked us a question, so I'm gonna leave the story, the whole entire story, for next week's episode. But I believe that for the 3 to 4 years before any physical interaction happened between us two, it definitely was platonic. It was definitely platonic on my side, for real. And I believe that when speaking of your current relationship out loud in front of people, especially when you're just hanging around friends, because everybody's platonic with each other, and you're speaking about sexual things that you've done in your past with your current partner, things that you've experimented with, I think that sometimes can spark a light in someone's head that they didn't realize was there before. And I think it goes, I wonder what that's like with that person. I can only take for what the situation was. And that's what it was. And it was just like, I wonder what that's like with that person. And I asked the question, you ain't never been on me no other time in the world, in history. Why now? And it was the answer, well, I heard, how you be in that with your mans or whatever. And this was after we had broke up. So he was paying attention when we was currently together, and I kind of wanted to see what it was. I wanted to see what it is. So you took a platonic relationship, and because I was speaking about who I was with currently and the things that happened in our bedroom or whatever, and you wasn't going to pursue anything, and then once you heard we broke up, now you're on it. So you went from platonic to spark of interest.
Did he shoot a shot before y'all?
No, that's what I was saying. It was
he took that, but I applaud him. He spoke up. He said what he had to say. So he did the right thing.
He did the right thing. Yeah, and then I will say he respectfully said it after it was announced that we had broke up or whatever. But I'm saying the interest was already sparked 6 months beforehand. So it's just how long was this sitting in the back of your head? And that's when, how long were we not platonic and I didn't know about it? You know what I'm saying? Because if we're really putting it 2 and 2 together, a platonic relationship does not exist in two people if a person has interest in the other and they're not revealing it.
John Luther said it best. Nah, that's
Funny.
Ain't no there.
My man just wanted to see what that is.
With that blank dude.
With that blank dude, yeah. That blank, he heard about it. He was like, that might actually be.
But I think that's a mistake that people make, though.
But then I was just like, okay, so this is just gonna turn into like friends with Ben's. Cool, I guess if that's what you want to do.
And that's when you.
But see,
you
that's a mistake, though. Like, honestly, real quick question.
Yeah.
Well, statement, question, however you want to slice it. I feel like if you have a platonic relationship, one of the rules should be not to talk about your relationship with that friend of the opposite sex.
That's not gonna happen. You know that's not gonna happen. You're gonna talk to your friend.
You know what? Okay,
what are we doing right now? What are you literally?
Yeah, no,
what is our show about?
But I'm saying,
like, I tell my boys about my dude problems all the time, just because they're my boys. Like I'm like, I feel like, and they do the same with me. If they're talking, dating girls, if they're in relationships, and they're like, "Yo, Candace, this happened. What should I do in this situation?" I'm gonna give you the real, and then vice versa. Like, I would hope they would do the same for me. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I know Trey has said before that you should not be looking for any advice from any man outside of your relationship. You should be speaking with your man first. But yes. I feel like when you have strictly platonic relationships, you're going to talk to your people who you feel comfortable with if you're having, not even saying a problem, but just you have a question, you have a situation, whatever, you just want to get their advice on it, or you just want them to hear you out, you just want to vent, like, you know.
Yeah, so maybe depending on what the conversation is.
Yes, depending on the conversation now. And if I'm talking about, I mean, ain't nothing, blah, blah, blah. Remember that time we went to the party and you said you would have my back whenever? Like, first of all, no.
Yeah, we ain't doing all of that.
all that. But I'm just saying, like, if it's straight platonic relation, like, I have a lot of guy friends. And I know a lot of people say stuff about women who say, I have guy friends because women are drama. I have a lot of female friends and I have a lot of guy friends. And when I go out with my guys and we have a good time, it's boys' night. Straight up. I don't care. Like, we have a good time. And these are my platonic people. And we are able to converse. We're able to have these conversations and really be open about how we feel in that state of, like, in our relationship game. And really talk to each other and help each other out.
How would you vet somebody? And I'll ask this question to both of you. How do you vet someone to make sure that they are truly platonic and not just like Chuck Clark just said, hungry wolves waiting outside the gate for the gate to be open. How do you vet an individual? Because you can go out with groups of people and they'll just be chill. They'll just be regular people out there going bowling, whatever have you. But if it's a one-on-one situation, then questions and thoughts and feelings start popping up. How do you vet them before that?
I don't purposely plan, but I be playing. Like, I be accidentally playing questions, like, or like certain things that I say. Like, even when conversations while we're all sitting here, I might say something that like is like a little off guard, and somebody else might be like, "Why would you say that? Like, they're gonna think that you like them." And it's like I'm literally just fucking around. Like, I'm just having a good time. But if you pique interest in what I just said, I know that if you wanted it, you're gonna take it if I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just
tell the truth, gentlemen. Tell her ass flat out, hey, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the friend zone way.
But that's the problem. People they don't make their intentions known.
Make them known.
You know what I'm saying?
Make them tell her
like,
flat out, I like you.
You can have a straight up platonic friendship.
Friends.
And, you know, like, you will sit up there and be in a situation where I'm friends with this person, I'm cool with this person, and meanwhile, this person wants to talk to you, but they don't tell you, and they see that you're in a relationship, and then they start saying all this slick shit. And then it's like, it's up to you to... Did y'all hear me this whole time? Because my audio went out.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. So basically... You know what I'm saying? You're not making your intentions known. They're not getting this relationship, and now you have a whole bunch to say about it. It's like, okay, but you could have said something to me this entire time. Like, when I get a man, don't come around, oh, well, why you got a boyfriend all of a sudden?
See, now that's some simple shit. That's some simple shit. I'm not doing that. You want to know what you know ahead of time. Go ahead.
Ty said, I'm sure tell my friend about the cutty I got last night. Yes, I do. I be up and like, yo, boy, I got some dick last night. Like, I be.
But how far in detail do you go, though? How far? Because I'm not going to sit there and listen to you.
John, and
Trey,
then John
it was
said,
like, it was shaped like this remote control. And like, oh, what?
I'm not going into detail like that.
And then John says, but I bet you don't tell them about how you ride it or whatever you do.
That's fair.
And Ty said it, and I was like, yes. Yes.
See, I don't.
Crazy, whatever. There's certain, obviously, with my male friends, they don't want me obviously going into great detail because that's disgusting to them because they don't want to know about that. My
then
girlfriend,
I meet this by me and he walk up in here and I don't need to know all that.
My girlfriends, they get all the extra deets. My guy friends, I just tell them like how step 1 has step 2, step 3, whatever like that. We'll joke, we'll laugh, we'll all that other stuff in between it, like while we're telling each other. But I definitely tell my guy friends if I got some.
And
like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's tell my female friends.
If my guy friends get some, I'll be like, I'm happy for them. I high five. I'm very happy for them.
On the guy's side of the fence, we don't really go into detail about y'all like that, so we don't want to hear like what. Yeah, she's wet, she's tight, whatever. But it's like, yo, she got this birthmark on the left side of her cheek, and that shit, man, the fuck, it look like the state of Texas. No, we not doing that. We're not going into full detail about every little item.
No, something that a rule of thumb I always followed is that you don't give all of the detail, and it's not even just in my platonic friendships with men. I did the same thing with women, because you don't want that person knowing all of your, sexual exploits or whatever, especially when it comes to women, because you don't want them hollering at your man. But when it comes to my platonic friendships with men, I'm thinking they don't want to talk about this type of stuff with me because they don't
block you.
That's what I'm saying. They don't view me. They don't view me like that. Like, we could have a conversation about sex, but I'm not going to give you every last detail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm not giving every last detail because once I start forgetting that I'm talking to a male friend, they're like, all right, Candace, wrap it up. What else happened? What was the next thing? Whatever. And I'm like, oh, my bad. All right, so let me it's like I just start getting comfortable with the conversation. Like, whoa, I'm still a man, Candace. Let's relax on the details of things.
Trey will straight up be like, I know too much about my friends. Don't say nothing else.
Yeah, Ty said the same thing. With my friendship with my women, I ain't telling you nothing about my man. Like, this is the thing. Like I said, I haven't been in a relationship in a long time. So when it comes to talking about, like, I'll talk about,
and they know who I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at every last one
going into a relationship. But once I get secured in a relationship, I'm not finna like tell it all. I'm not gonna have a written tell-all book, like, you know what I'm saying. But while I'm doing my streetscapades, why not? And one of my friends who's been in a relationship for like 10 years at this point live vivaciously through me. She's like, I know you in the streets, girl. Tell me your story. What's happening out there? So,
Well, ladies, it is past 10 o'clock. It is actually 10:04 this time. I think we hit this. What happens when you have great conversations? We still got some things that we can leave over for next week. However, we got to wrap the show up because we have what coming up?
Aftercare.
There we go. Aftercare. You got a spanking. Now you got to get some care going on. So if you guys have been here listening to us this entire time, we thank you for tuning in. We will continue an aftercare question and answer session in our Discord. It'll be live. You need to be on camera if you want to participate. I'd appreciate it if you just go into the Discord. The link is actually up on the fan page, and you can join us there. We'll be there for about an hour to get some things off our chest. If you have a disagreement, if you want to continue the conversation, but also let people talk, let them finish. We want to keep things civil. We haven't had any problems with that, but we want to make sure things are going that way. And Amber Dixon says she loves to hear. John Luther says, me too. Start sharing.
Girl, give me a number. I will share my streets.
Oh my goodness.
Amber, look, we love it that you love it here. Okay, welcome.
Yes. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We do lives every Sunday starting at 8:35. So we'll get it going, and just help us get up out there. You know where to find us. Well, now you know where to find us since you watched this. But ladies, if you will, tell them where they can find you on social media.
Well, go ahead. You got that, girl.
All right. Well, you can find me at
Put a little-
Royal Rain
Good
on all
tagline.
social media. ROY4L. And that is across the board: Facebook, Instagram. I'm sorry, not Facebook yet, but Instagram, Twitter. Chase, where can they find you?
You can find me at Candy Taste Sweet. You can do with that what you will on Instagram, and you can find me on TikTok at Chase Inc. CHAYESINC. 125,000 strong, baby. Hopefully the
You just gonna shit on my little
keep it
56,000
growing.
like that, bro.
I
didn't
think you
say
should
nothing
stop
little
saying
about you, but if you
56,000
want
like
to
it's
be
not a
like,
big
go
number.
ahead. Do what you gotta do. And yeah, so if you guys, we're gonna have Hubducer put the Discord link in the chat again, because I think Chuck has said that the link went nowhere. So where he's gonna put the link back in the chat again and back on the fan page, so that way we can get you guys going. If you want, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Candy Taste Sweet, and I can give it to you, or you can hit us up on Instagram at the Kinkazoid Podcast. And you can DM us there. We can give you the link to our Discord there. Once again, guys, we have a YouTube channel. That's where some of y'all watching us right now on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Go onto our page, go into the playlist. We have the Kinkazoid playlist. All right, some of the songs that you guys had put in there for what you would have in your sexy playlist, we have put the songs there, and I'm adding more. We are going to be making a May Madness, June Madness, whatever you want to call a Kinky Madness bracket. All right,
Music
so
bracket.
90s sex R&B songs versus like 2000s and forward R&B songs. So we're going to be putting together and see who comes out on top. And we always like to be on top. Not me, because I don't got no knees. Anyway, so make sure that you guys following us everywhere. Make sure you're following Trey and Royal and myself, Chase. We thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will see you in aftercare. Make sure to come and lay your head on these boobies.
You gonna let me say? I was gonna say my part. I was
Oh,
gonna do my
sorry,
own.
Trey,
what you got to say.
I was
Come on now. It's Trey proper everywhere. If you don't know that by now, I'm about to smack. No, but go ahead. Hit up your boy. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I got a Tumblr rolling around there out there somewhere. But they all Trey proper all the time. Go ahead, drop the follows, drop the likes, and make sure you subscribe to everything that I'm on. I don't care. Do it. That's all I have to say.
Any song that you would like, because I see that some people are asking questions, any song that you would like to be listed in the sexy playlist of your liking, we will add into the playlist. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to listen to it from a particular artist, but out of your request, we'll add it into our playlist. So thank you guys so much for a great night. See you in aftercare. Make sure you got your bonnets on and some sheets covering up your chest while you're in bed, all right? So we can get you on camera. All right, let's get into aftercare, and we'll talk to you guys next week. See you later.
Thanks,
Peace.
y'all.